Greetings, viewers. My name is Melvin Rao Boddeti. We at Path of the Just Ministries received an online question from an Seaman who asks, "Hi, I would like to know if you have a study on Ezekiel 9. Someone told me that this chapter will be fulfilled literally in the future. I need help understanding this. Thanks in advance for your help in this matter." The prophetic vision of Ezekiel 9 actually begins in Ezekiel chapter 8. Where the prophet Ezekiel is taken in vision by the lock of his hair to see the abominations done in the house of Israel. Now, whenever we see the prophet become a part of the vision itself, as we see Ezekiel here being carried by the lock of his hair, that vision is for us as a sign upon whom the ends of the world is come. That's according to Ezekiel chapter 24 and verse 24 and 1 Corinthians 10 and verse 11. As Ezekiel is asked to look closer, he sees the leadership of the house of Israel in abject self-worship, which in itself is confusion as its self-exaltation. And then he is shown the compromise to the National Sunday Law. Who are these leaders? In Hosea chapter 8 and verse 4, the Lord says, "They have set up kings, but not by me. They have made princes, and I knew not." Leadership who came in through a hole in the wall, not through the door, who we understand as Christ, according to John chapter 10 and verse 7 onwards. Incidentally, Christ says there that those who did not come in through him as the door were thieves and robbers. Prophetically, robbers was a symbol of Rome, according to Daniel chapters 11 and 7. As the vision continues on to chapter 9 in Ezekiel, he hears the Lord cry out in a loud voice. The loud cry, perhaps? "Behold, the bridegroom cometh." This is from the parable that Jesus spoke, as recorded in Matthew 25 for us, which Sister White tells us will be fulfilled to the very letter in the Millerite time period. And as we subsequently are paralleling that history, this parable will be fulfilled to the letter in our generation as well. There's also a similarity to the angels which descend in Revelation chapters 10 and 18, which also cries with a loud voice. Incidentally, there's an angel which ascends from the east in Revelation 7 who cries also. He cries to the four angels to hold the winds until the servants of God are sealed in their foreheads. We understand through the spirit of prophecy that this sealing is a settling into truth intellectually and spiritually. Ezekiel chapter 9 is that same vision recorded in Revelation 7, but with a few more details. As we look at who the Lord calls to draw near with their destroying weapons in reading Ezekiel chapter 9, it's those who have charge of the city. And according to Psalms 91 and verse 11, we see angels being given charge. Which angels are these? We see that this work is a twofold work, with a binding or separating or marking, and then is followed by the work of the judgment. I believe it's the three angels' messages that are followed by the fourth, which does the work of separating between the wheat and the tares. We've been told that it's in the garner that the wheat and the tares ripen for the harvest, and the angels do the work of reaping. It's these messages that do the work of separating, brothers and sisters. While the Bible in the book of Revelation shows us this particular vision has its fulfillment at the executive judgment, which takes place at the end of the world, with the plagues being poured out by the seven angels having the seven vials of God's wrath, Sister White lets us know that this is the work of the destroying angel. Notice that the Lord says to begin that judgment at the sanctuary with the ancient men, who represents those who have had a knowledge of God's judgment, but would not call for a revival of primitive godliness, either in their own homes or in the church. This is represented as judgment taking place first amongst this group of people. And according to the proof text methodology of studying line upon line of the Bible and spirit of prophecy, we understand that probationary time closes for this group of people first. Daniel chapter 11 and verse 41 gives us an approximate time frame that this occurs in, at the passing of the National Sunday Law. Notice this quote from volume 1 of the manuscript releases, page 260, paragraph 2, written to the Seventh-day Adventist churches in Oakland and Berkeley on September 26, 1909. She says, "Study the 9th chapter of Ezekiel. These words will be literally fulfilled. Yet the time is passing, and the people are asleep. They refuse to humble their souls and to be converted. Not a great while longer will the Lord bear with the people who have such great and important truths revealed to them, but who refuse to bring these truths into their individual experience. The time is short. God is calling. Will you hear? Will you receive His message? Will you be converted before it's too late? Soon, very soon, every case will be decided for eternity. As of always, we trust and pray that your eyes were enlightened as you tasted a little of this honey. God bless.